For creating the graph of land use change, we will use r.stats. So this will create a relation between land use type and district. So first of all, before using the r.stats, we need to import the vector data. So v.import and we will browse the districts of province 7. So it is in this province 7.gpkg. So we will import this district because it has defined projection. So I will import this one. So we can see that the districts are imported. So for the comparison of district and land use, we need to either convert all the data into vector, or we need to convert all the data into raster. So we will convert the district data to raster data. So v dot to raster, and name of vector map we will use district, and name of output raster map dist. Source of raster values, so we will use attribute, and the attribute we use should be unique one. So let us check the unique attribute. So FID is unique district, unique attribute, and district or any of these three attributes we can choose as a label of the raster. So we use the attribute and category values. We will convert this area to raster data, and attributes we select district, and name of column used as raster category level. Oh, sorry, it should be for example cat, and then the label we use district, and then run. So it is complete. Now we can see the data, which is now it is displayed as raster. So in the layer tree we can see the district as vector and dist as raster. So if we query any point, we can see that value is 6 and level is Darsula. So now we use the r.stats. So r.stats and name of raster maps. So we use district versus district so next one is reclassified of 2010. So we will use these two, and formatting should be field separator should be space comma, so that it can be opened as CSV. So there are few options: print, read floating statistics. So print area total in square meters, we'll use square meter of the area, and no data. So we can do this: do not report sales where all maps have no data. And now the output should be here. We need to print category labels. So let us check how the data is saved. So let us say stat 2010.csv, and now let us run this and close. Let us check the data. I open it in LibreOffice Calc. You can use Excel to open this. So we use comma as the delimiter, and okay. So we can see that district and land use type and area. So Assam district, land use type 1 is this much, and for each district we can see that there is no data, but it is okay. Now we repeat the process for each year. So if we click upward upward arrow on the keyboard and change this output to 2014.csv and input also to 2014.csv, reclass.2014, and enter, when we get this next data. And now we use 2018. So 2018 is also produced. So finally we produce 2022. So we can use the 4 data sets and find the value of land use area for each land use type using these 4 data sets output statistics. So let us say semicolon, we will not use it. Okay. And now we add 1 row at the top and here we have name of district, LUID, and we maybe we can delete this column, and this is area, and we save it as spreadsheet document. So let us save it. In case of Excel, we can save it as XLX, and in this case we save as ODS, and it is stat all, and now we copy the data from other sources. Okay, and I copy all these data, Control C, Control V. So this is for 2010, and this is for 2014. So here we have land use type 0, but in this case we don't have land use type 0. So I will add one more row for this data set. Insert, and we just shift cells down, and we repeat this process where we have the data for 0, but we don't have data for 0 in this row, and complete this data for all the years. Now I have created this data by combining all the statistical output, and I have removed all the data rows with no data values, and I have added rows where LUID is 0 and it was not produced by the tool, and the area of this LUID 0 will be 0 for this year, and this is the compiled data. So I will import this data to the QGIS. So this is even Excel file we can add to the layer, and we can see this data like this. So we can create various types of graph using this data. So first of all, let us create a graph showing the change of forest, which is probably land use ID 5 for all the districts by year. So to combine this district data and stat all data, we need to join. Now I will show you how to uh, output the graphs using the stat data. So we have these two layers here, and district layer we can see that we have these columns. I have created this area column recently, so I will show you how to create this column. So first of all, I will delete this area column, and again so from here I will create area column. So area, and it should be real, and just by writing area we can see that sample. So round it if you like to 2 digits after decimal place. So if we click OK, then the area will be calculated. And now it is in editing mode, so we save it. And now we will use database DB manager, which can be accessed from here. And I have already DB manager open, and I have expanded by clicking here and here. So we can see the virtual layers shows the layer from the QGIS canvas. So we have both the layers displayed here, and info is here, and you can also view table, and we can preview. So let us write SQL, structured query language, to display the tables from these two layers. So I have written the SQL here. So I will explain what is this SQL. So I will break it. So we can see that there are two tables, district and the stat 2010, and the district table will be called T1 in the subsequent lines, and this table will be called T2 in the next lines. And asterisk means we are going to display all the columns from these two tables such that the district column of first table and name of district column of the second table are the same, and also the land use ID of the second table is equal to 5. So in this example I am going to show how to prepare graph for the land use ID 5, which is forest. So once you write this SQL and run, it will be shown here. But why I use double quote, I will tell you. So you need to use double quote when there are spaces here in this name. So we can just bring this name from here. Press the F2 key on the keyboard and copy the name of the layer, and you can paste it inside this. So in that way I have copied the name of table in this SQL. So when we run this, we see all the columns listed here, but many of the columns are repeated and many of the columns are not required. So I will remove this part and choose only those columns which are necessary. So I have listed all these columns here. So up to here, Control C. So here we, instead of all the columns, we use the selected columns and then execute again. Now we have only the required columns, and geometry is necessary to display the data as spatial data, polygon data. So after running the SQL, we load it as a new layer. So FID is the unique column and geometry is the geometry column, and we load it. If it is not here, then we need to select from this and then load this. And now we can see that the query layer is loaded here, and it has also a geometry field. So now we can see all the columns are displayed here. So now we will prepare the graph. So to prepare graph, we double click this and use the diagrams. So here it is no diagram, so we make it histogram. And then attributes, we are going to use our area 2010, 2014, 2018. So we will change this because we want to use percentage. So double click here, and then we divide by area and then multiply by 100 to get the percentage. So okay, and same way we can modify all the columns. And area into 100. And now we change the color of each one. So this is this, black. So now if we click apply, it should show the graph, but it is not showing here. So let us check it. So maximum value is 100, but we need to change the maximum value because the maximum percentage is 100. So now we can see that this is displayed. So some options we need to modify to make it better. So bar width, we can reduce the bar width like 2 and make it spacing small, and then we can check again. So it is very small, so we can again change the side like 50. Now we can see that it is displayed quite well. So in this way we can make the graph and change the options and parameters to make it more beautiful. And we can also plot the bar graph for each year, for each land use ID by using this bar plot. We can search here, and we use query layer. Category name field we use district, and value field we use for example area 2010, and run, and the output will be created in your this HTML file. If we open this HTML file, we can see the output. So this is the area, but maybe we want to show the percentage area because some of the districts are bigger, some districts are small. So we need to create percentage area column for to display it better. So this is the end of this whole tutorial.